Imagine stepping into a place so cursed, so haunted, that they say no one ever returns. Tonight, we're diving deep into the world's most terrifying abandoned locations where shadows whisper and secrets refuse to die. These are the 5 haunted places where curiosity could cost you everything. Are you brave enough to watch till the end? If you love creepy stories about abandoned places, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. 1. Poveglia Island, Italy. Just a few miles from Venice lies a place locals refuse to mention: Poveglia Island. Covered in mist and silence, this small patch of land has a history darker than most horror films. Hundreds of years ago, it was a quarantine zone during the Black Plague. People who showed even the slightest symptoms were dragged there, screaming, never to return. It said over 160,000 bodies were burned or buried on the island. Some say the soil itself is 50% human ash. In the 1922nd, the Italian government built a psychiatric hospital on the island. According to urban legends, a mad doctor began performing strange and brutal experiments on the patients' lobotomies, electric shocks, and worse. Locals claim he eventually went insane himself and jumped off the hospital tower, or was pushed by the spirits he had tortured. To this day, fishermen avoid the waters near Poveglia. Visitors report hearing screams, whispers, and seeing dark shadow figures watching from the windows of the crumbling buildings. Paranormal investigators who dared to enter claimed their equipment malfunctioned, and several left the island in tears, refusing to speak of what they saw. One traveler who spent a night there alone went missing. His camera was found near the dock, still recording, but he was never seen again. They say no one returns from Poveglia Island. 2 Eastern Street 8 Penitentiary, USA. In the heart of Philadelphia stands a prison unlike any other Eastern State penitentiary. Built in 1829, it was known for its brutal and strict punishments, designed to break the spirits of its inmates. Prisoners were kept in solitary confinement for months, sometimes years. The silence inside those cold stone walls was said to drive men insane. Some lost their minds, others lost their lives. Among its most notorious inmates was the infamous gangster Al Capone. Visitors to the abandoned penitentiary often report strange sounds, faint footsteps echoing in empty halls, distant screams, and whispering voices that seem to come from nowhere. Paranormal investigators claim to have caught shadowy figures moving in the dark and sudden cold spots that send chills down the spine. One night, a group of explorers decided to spend hours inside the old prison's most haunted wing. Throughout the night, they heard bells ringing without cause, doors creaking open and shut on their own, and some even saw dark silhouettes following them silently. When morning came, a few of the group left shaken and never returned to speak of what they experienced. Some lost contact with friends who had gone inside. They say once you enter Eastern State Penitentiary, you don't come back the same, or sometimes you don't come back at all. The prison still holds the souls of those trapped within, forever imprisoned by its walls. 3 Hashima Island, Japan. Hashima Island, Japan. Off the coast of Nagasaki, Japan, lies a small island known as Hashima Island, or Battleship Island, because of its shape. Once a bustling coal mining facility, it was home to thousands of workers and their families. For decades, life on Hashima was harsh, but vibrant. However, in 1974, the coal mines closed, and everyone was forced to leave. Since then, the island has been completely abandoned, left to decay under the relentless ocean winds and storms. The empty concrete buildings now stand like ghosts, windows shattered, walls crumbling. The silence is deafening. No birds, no people, only the echoes of a forgotten past. Stories from former workers speak of grueling conditions underground and unexplained accidents that claimed many lives. Some say the spirits of those who died still wander the deserted streets at night. Urban explorers who dared to visit Hashima have reported strange sensations, sudden cold spots, eerie feelings of being watched, and unexplained noises in the wind. Some say cameras malfunction or disappear mysteriously after nights spent on the island. Despite being a popular location for filming horror movies and documentaries, locals warn that Hashima Island is cursed. They say no one truly leaves unscathed after stepping foot there. Some visitors have returned with stories of nightmares and unexplained illnesses. They say, once you enter Hashima Island, you're never quite the same, and some say you never truly return. 4. Hellingly Hospital, England. Hidden in the quiet countryside of East Sussex, England, lies Hellingly Hospital, once a bustling psychiatric hospital now left to rot and decay. Opened in 1903, it served thousands of patients over the decades, many of whom suffered in silence behind its cold walls. The hospital was known for controversial treatments and harsh conditions. Many patients were subjected to electroconvulsive therapy, lobotomies, and isolation. Stories tell of screams echoing through the halls and shadows moving in the dark. After closing its doors in 1994, Hellingly was abandoned, left to crumble under years of neglect. The buildings became a playground for urban explorers and paranormal investigators, many of whom claim to have experienced unexplained phenomena. Visitors often report hearing distant cries, footsteps with no source, and sudden drops in temperature. Some have seen ghostly figures wandering the empty corridors, their faces twisted in silent agony. One famous investigation captured strange orbs of light on camera, which disappeared whenever anyone tried to get closer. Others describe a feeling of being watched so intensely it becomes overwhelming. Locals avoid the site, believing it to be cursed and haunted by the tormented souls of former patients. They say those who enter Hellingly Hospital rarely come back unchanged. Some leave shaken, others refuse to speak about what they encountered. They say no one truly escapes the darkness of Hellingly Hospital. 5. Six Flags Theme Park, New Orleans, USA. After Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans in 2005, the once lively Six Flags theme park was forced to shut down. Floodwaters swept through the park, leaving rides broken, buildings damaged, and a silence that has never been broken. What was once filled with laughter and joy is now a ghost town. The roller coasters stand frozen in time, rusting under the scorching sun and heavy rains. The amusement park rides, covered in graffiti and vines, sway eerily in the wind. Locals warn everyone to stay away after dark. Strange noises are often heard, metal clanging, faint laughter, and whispers that seem to float through the empty air. Some say they've seen shadowy figures moving between the ruins, disappearing when approached. Urban explorers who've dared to enter tell stories of feeling watched, sudden chills, and eerie footsteps behind them. One explorer vanished mysteriously after a night spent inside the park, his camera found near the exit but no sign of him. The park's haunting silence and broken attractions have become a symbol of loss and forgotten memories. Many believe that the spirits of the past linger here, trapped between the rusting rides and shattered dreams. They say, once you enter Six Flags theme park in New Orleans, you might never truly leave. The echoes of the past seem to hold visitors captive in the shadows of abandonment.